Well, now I'm going to discuss about the functions. Functions are an important thing in any of the programming language because in the functions you can able to execute a particular code if you want. Means if you want to add two numbers, if you want, then you can able to execute that function. First of all, I will discuss with the syntax of the function. Here, to create any functions, we use a keyword called define. After that define, we are going to use that the function name, which is actually add, and we are going to use that arguments are the numbers which are going to give as input to a function. For example, here I am going to use x comma y, and I just save it, and we are going to use a colon. After that, we are going to return, we use a return statement for getting an answer, in which we are going to give return as x plus y, and we have successfully created a function. And to call that function, we use add statement. When I use add statement, the function is called. And but here we haven't used any of the variables or argument into it, therefore it is not going to give us answer. But when I say 2 comma 3, it is going to give us a sum of 2 and 3, which is actually 5. And this is how we are going to get we are going to use the functions, and we are going to call the functions, and we are going to get the output from the function. And as we got answer as a 5 because we have used two variables, a 2 and a 3. And after that, I just show you what actually function does, because you saw that you are going to create a set of a code, and you can able to execute that set of a code if you want by calling them. And this is how we go with that particular thing which we term as a function. And here, instead of using this x plus y or these all things, I just use hello world, and I just save it and run that program. And whenever you just run that program, it is going to show you the hello world. How many times you run, that times it is going to show you. Here we have called only one time, therefore it has shown you one time. And this is how we are going to deal with that particular functions. Using the functions, you can able to do a lot of things, and these functions are important thing if you are going to build the Django website. The Django, which is a Python based web framework, using that you can able to create a backend. In such cases, you are going to use these functions extensively. And after that, I am going to show you with some example. Here I am going to create a define, and here I am going to use a name, and I am going to give an argument, and I am going to print hello, and plus x, hello plus x. And after that, I am going to save it. And whenever I call that particular function using my name, which is actually I just take a random name, Elon. I just save it. When I run that program, here you are going to get hello Elon. Why? Because we have called that function using a string which actually went here. As you can have a look at here, we got hello Elon. And this is how we are going to use the functions. And after this thing, what if you want to use a whole array into a function? Well, you have created a function using the definition keyword, and with the function name, with the arguments, and with the return statement, you have done these all things. What if you want to take a whole array into a function? Yes, you can able to achieve that. You can able to achieve that using a thing in which you are going to give means you are going to call that name, and you are going to give multiple variables into it, like you are going to go with Elon, and Steve, and then Bill. Actually, these are all the list, means actually these are the list which are passing into the name. And here in the x, actually we are not going to use directly x, we are going to use asterisk x. And whenever we use asterisk x, it is going to take that whole the array in the format of the function argument, and it is going to give here us the output, in which I am going to use if x of 1 or x of 2, it is going to print hello bill, because this is the 0th position, 1 position and 2 position, therefore it is going to give us output as hello bill. And this is how we are going to pass the whole array into the function to get our required output. As you can have a look at here, we got hello bill, and this is how we are going to go with the Python functions. Well, now I am going to discuss about the Lambda functions. Lambda functions are actually functions which are single expression. Unlike the functions which we have discussed before, these functions have defined keyword and a function name and 2 arguments or 3 arguments, as well as it has a return statement. But the Lambda functions are not that complex. They are single line which have a Lambda keyword, and it has the arguments as well as the return values. It doesn't have a return statement. And here I will assign a variable x, and I will use the Lambda keyword, and I will use the argument which is actually a, and it has to return me the answer as a plus 10. Means whenever I give value of x of 5, x of 10, it has to return me the value. Means if I say x of 5, this 5 value moves into this a, which is actually argument, and it will give the answer as a 5 plus 10. Actually it will give answer as a 15. And this is how simple a Lambda function is. And I just run the program, and well, these Lambda functions are used when you have very small calculation. Means these are actually very simple calculation, but the actual functions which you use, which are with the defined keyword, define, and the function name and return statement and arguments, these are actually very big, and these are actually used in constructing the framework and working with the big functions. But Lambda functions are normally used in machine learning techniques, because in some of the cases you have to use very small calculation. In such cases you can use Lambda, but when functions are very huge, you cannot use the Lambda functions. That is the difference. For very small functions you use Lambda, and here we got answer as a 15. And then after this I will show you with the different variables, in which I am going to use a, b, c. We have 3 variables. After that I am going to add all of them, a plus b plus c. Well, we have 3 arguments, a, b, c. After that we have the sum of a, b, c, and I just save it. And after that I will send 3 variables into this x value, and I just run that. When I run that, I'm going to give it is going to give me answer as a 5 plus 4 plus 5. Actually it is going to give me answer as a 15. And this is how we are going to deal with the normal functions using the Lambda functions. And this is all about the Lambda function. Well, do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Thank you.